The next speaker is Roshan Abbas, and there he is coming in. Roshan is a childhood friend, one of my oldest childhood friends. I think we were introduced in class 3. Oh, no, sorry, when we were 3 years old. He is an accomplished entrepreneur. He's a DJ. He's a movie director. He's a TV personality. And he's also currently MD of Geomet Encompass and president of EEMA. I will let Roshan describe himself a bit better and what he's doing and why he's here at this forum. Thanks, Roshan, and welcome.
Thank you, Manav. It's lovely to see you and lovely to see everyone else. I think in the work that I do, part of my life, half my life is largely because of the hotel industry, because everything that I've done in the event business, everything that I have done as a host in my life has largely been in hotels. I think I've almost spent an equal amount of time in hotels as I have at home, and which is why they are a second home to me. So it was a pleasure to come here and actually speak to everyone. I don't know whether I can get screen share. Yeah, I've just managed to get it. So thank you. And I'm going to share something with you all quickly. So I've recently taken over as president of the Event and Entertainment Management Association. And my reason is largely because I just felt that our industry has been represented over the last years. It's a young association, about 12 years old. But it has been always looked on as a small sector, and a whole bunch of us always felt that we're a much larger business. So forgive me the indulgence. This is just because the kind of audience that we have here, it's very important for you all to know what is the scale and size of what we do, because in this business is about 1.7 lakh crores worth of work that happens. And this is across multiple sectors. People always think that the events that we talk of are only corporate events, but everything from cultural events to political events to festivals to sports to meetings, incentives, conferences, exhibitions, rural. There is so much work that happens. This is a vibrant industry. And when COVID happened, everybody was saying what's going to happen next. And our point was that, obviously everybody waited for the first month or two. There was a pause placed. Our past president, Mr. Sanjoy Roy, made an appeal and said, this is going to be the death knell of the industry almost. But, we have a way of doing things partly by magic and partly by logic. And I think you need both at the moment. So the question that was put before me was, is the MICE industry going to die? I mean, what's going to happen? Is it the demise of the MICE industry? Allow me the play of words, because many people are saying that this is the end of everything and what's going to happen and things will change. There's some good news and some bad news. The first thing is that you need to take the bull by the horns. Stop sitting around, do something. And I know you all are doing many things internally as associations, etc. Let's not forget, we were in the business of hugs and handshakes. We were in the power of assembly, in getting people together. That's what our industry is all about. But suddenly we've been reduced to, I don't know what, elbow bumps and knee bumps and, these things essentially. But I think there's a need of a new handshake. If you want this industry to survive, the new handshake needs to be between tourism, hospitality, travel, and events. We have always treated each other with this siloed approach, which just doesn't work. It needs to change simply because together we can do so much more. Now, we did this the minute we came on board. We created safety protocols, and we didn't just create them for one line of work. We created them for every possible format, for a conference indoors, for a conference outdoors, for how to do weddings, social events. I forgot to mention those, though that's one of the largest sectors which is there. And the minute we got 15 of our most senior event people to come together and create safety protocols. Now, we didn't stop there. We created a lot of noise on social media, and we came out with this campaign of open safe events to save events. Members of our government interaction team, and I would recommend that you all have similar, I'm sure you have similar lobbying and teams, but we went everywhere. We met people, I think in the last 3 weeks, we must have met about 15 to 18 senior government officials from Ministry of Culture and Tourism to the Ministry of Home Affairs to disaster management teams. The gentleman on the right is meeting the Minister of State for Home Affairs, Shrimati Nityanand ji, met by Mr. Lalit Katani, who's one of the co-chairs of our government interaction team. And what happened was, with all this pressure and with the safety protocols, we were able to tell them at least from 50 go to 100. And that's what's happened right now. If you want a copy of these, please do write to us, because the more you share them, the more you take them out, the more it will help us. We need to get the government to help us help them. You know, this constantly sitting and crying and saying, yes, we need, but it's fine. But show them what you want and show them how to do it right. I know that very often part of this industry is looked on saying, oh, this is luxury. Oh, this is only about the creme de la creme. That's what you need to dispel as a doubt. You've got to tell them that we are about getting people together and everybody is a social animal. This is something which we've been talking about, and I think it's a common thing we need to tell people, saying, give us some reduction on GST. There are some loans under MSMEs, etc., which are also being asked for. And I think we all need to ask for these things together. The second is it possible to do visa-free travel? You know, the thing that might really happen, and I actually did a survey amongst our members and said, what are some of the things that you feel could be as incentives? This could be an incentive. Internationally, there are many countries which have got bureaus that provide you incentives if you take people to them. I don't know whether this is something which happens here. Forgive my ignorance if it's already there, but if it isn't, we need to build these kind of incentives for MICE events. Because when people come to India for MICE, I mean, the large part of what I see from the event business is MICE events that are done for Indian companies when they are doing their travel, etc. So how can we make ourselves a favored destination, just like a Dubai or anything else? We need to play on the pillars of culture and creativity. And again, very often I feel that hotels and people who are in this business turn a blind eye to the culture and creativity piece. Here is where, firstly, if we can all do model events to showcase to the government, safety protocol events, to just show people we can do it right. It's very important to put the message out right now. We can do it right. That will open up the next relaxation. We have certain members who are on government committees who tell us that the worry is that if lots of people gather, will they do it in the right manner? Well, we've got to show them. So if we show these and showcase them to press, to government, to local authorities and clients, we will be able to build confidence, which is what the industry needs. We need to do fixed installations in ballrooms. Just yesterday, it started floating around that one hotel in Delhi has taken the help of an audio company and a services company and put up an installation from before. But events and hotels need to do this on a profit shared basis. There is inventory lying in people's warehouses not being used. There are event managers sitting not doing too much at the moment. There are hotels whose ballrooms are going empty. Why can't we set up safety protocol events which are there as fixed installations as a fixed event and hotel profit shared basis? The new partners that you will need for this industry, if you do not want MICE to die a death, you will need for a while medical teams. You will need streaming services. You will need insurance companies. We as the event industry are talking to all of these and would be very happy to partner with all of you to build these opportunities. Gone are the days of just having event planner. You need technologists. Frankly, there is a whole new business of virtual events. We are doing a great conference on the 29th of this month. Sorry, on the 8th of October, my apologies, the date changed, where we are talking about virtual events, because I'll tell you one thing, 30% of this business is going to move there, but it has to be done as a hybrid platform. We have to understand the difference between live, simu-live, and hybrid events. This will become part of our lexicon. This will be stuff that we will continuously do. Contactless check-ins for conferences. This is going to help build. I know it happens in some hotels. It needs to start happening, but you're also required to have staggered timing of arrival and departures, because in creating these bottlenecks when people enter hotels, even when people enter ballrooms, etc. Yesterday, I was attending a conference being done in the US where a gentleman said that they have got rapid testing protocols, which in the US are costing $50 a person, which is a lot of money, 3,500 rupees. But would people start paying that kind of money to be absolutely safe? They're experimenting with that in the US. I'm very soon we will be experimenting with the same here as well. If your hotel doesn't have high-speed internet, it will be critical in decision making. And when I say high-speed internet, I do not mean we can get you a line in so many days. We have the line. I was watching Raj's broadcast, and the quality of video was significantly better because he is on a high-speed connection. And this has to happen. Along with this, you will need production crews and spaces for production crews. Again, I'm going back to the fact that hybrid events is going to be the future. And in that hybrid, you will need to have places for production crews, because MICE events will start having a production leg of broadcast. Now, again, this is something we are working on as the event industry. We have built lots of ways and methods for this. We would love to share that information with everyone so that we can build this together. I'll go back to my first point. The handshake needs to happen between hotels, event agencies, tourism, hospitality, travel. We are one industry. We thrive and survive together. Remote destinations are going to be a key in decision making. People are going to look for a while at these places. There is a lot of MICE decisions that people are saying, we want to be far from the madding crowd. How is that going to be possible? Safety branding. Singapore has done this well. Singapore has started branding individual places. The more you brand safety in and around the areas where hotels exist, you will find uptake happening a lot more. So brand not just your hotel, but the area around you. If there are 20 great eateries in the vicinity, I know you may think it's cannibalizing on your own F&B, but that's what makes a city great. That's what people come to. They want to experience the city. Build safety protocols in the entire itinerary together, jointly. These were just some thoughts that I wanted to share with you all, saying this is the time for creativity. Lakes and pools can be reimagined. The senior brand manager, Arjun Bose, for Haagen-Dazs in UK and Europe, is doing events in pools. These are done. Your outdoor locations are going to become a premium. They're going to be something that people will really start looking at. So start selling these places or finding lakes and building them into your incentive tours or building them into the itinerary that you offer. Even the parking lot is going to be a place. Of course, for this, our 10 p.m. sound protocols in India are a little draconian, but Bluetooth technology is available. Come to the experts, come to the event people who make the magic happen with a certain logic behind it. Don't just look for, everything can be done by you or any individual. It has to be done jointly. Rooms with a view will be much more in demand. You could start charging premiums for this. You could be starting building concerts facing these for MICE events. And I'm telling you, this can be something that can be a big, flip to the business going forward. Outdoor spaces will be at a premium. Make them pristine, make them beautiful. Get technology and set it up there. Again, I keep going back to the private-public partnership, which normally we propose with governments. I'm saying this needs to be done between the hotel and the event industry. The digital live experience will coexist with live events. This is the time to build IPs together. This is the time to come up with joint profit centers. And I'm telling you, ultimately, it's going to be an approach where there is a shared risk and a shared reward. Very often, we silo these two things. If you can incentivize agencies to come and help with this, because a lot of these are almost, when people use this terrible word called the new normal, I believe it is going to be not the new normal. It's basically an abnormal situation where we need to come up with creative solutions. So please find the right partners, come on board, work with us. We would love to do this together with you all. That's what I wanted to share with you all just now. And if there are any questions or anything that anybody would like, please do share them. Okay, great. I've got a question from Abhiraj. Virtual events. Yeah, so see, I'll tell you one thing, Abhiraj. These kind of events are happening. The first set of virtual events happened in the range of 1 to 5 lakhs because people were just trying to figure what can be done. But now, as we go along, that number is moving up. Where again, this idea of hybrid events, your ballrooms at hotels are going to become shooting floors. Because again, earlier when press events used to happen, you all used to get so bothered with all the press cameras and cables. Build them into your hotels now. Because it's going to become a part and parcel of what happens going forward. It's absolutely critical where we do this so that we can build this industry again. Right, we have some polls that I had wanted to conduct, and if we can actually put out the poll. Right. Okay, and I'm going to put out this. The polls are here. How should we build advocacy for our industry? A joint task force of all stakeholders, individual industry lobbyists, demonstrations and protests. So people started asking me these questions, so I thought I should definitely ask you all. If you click on polls, you can actually answer these. So if you all can click on the poll and do that, and I'm going to actually continue with the question. So there's a question, Abhitosh, high-speed internet is now available most places. I mean, the geo revolution is going to touch every corner of the country. It is time for you to find that solution now and implement it. Because, the quality of the internet connection is going to decide, it's going to be a big decision maker. Fun fact, we were casting for a show recently and it was being done on the internet. The actors' speed of internet was equally important to us in making this decision. So going on, there's one more question from Naomi. In a country like India where people are scared of being tested, honestly, people will ultimately want to do rapid testing because safety is going to be a norm. Yes, it may not be for every customer who walks in through the door, but I think when we're talking about the MICE industry, it's going to be absolutely critical to do this. I'm sorry, Shelley has shared these, so I'm not being able to understand how to put out the results. If somebody can help put out the poll results, it will be a big help. Everything is happening online, Kedar, but the innovative way to tackle this is going to be to create elements within your live event that cannot be replicated online. So, for example, great food which is offered live cannot be replicated online. While you might have a couple of these, we'll deliver things to you, but it's critical that we build some amount of elements that can only happen at the live event. A speaker keynote that is only available at the live event. A PDF that is only available to certain attendees early and certain attendees late. So the remote attendees maybe get it a little late, but the live attendees get it early. There has to be incentives built into the live event. Otherwise, if hybrid becomes, you're absolutely right, if hybrid becomes the go-to because its efficacy is a lot more, people might want to go for that. But it is absolutely easy to build in these kind of levels. Event partner monetizing this, so I'll tell you how it's possible. You take the cost of inventory, you take the cost of the ballroom, you put these costs together, and then you sell it as a package on a per person basis with complete transparency. The biggest issue has been that there has been an issue of trust. Nobody trusts the other person in terms of margins, but as I'm saying, it requires us to sit across a table, have a handshake, and figure out this is how much money can be made, and then add that into the cost of the packages that we do. Satish, the most creative event disruption, frankly, which I saw was what was called Cinema on the CN, and I reached out to Arjun because of that. I felt that using spaces that you won't imagine, like a lake to conduct an event, was phenomenal. Plus, a boat is socially distanced because you're coming in your own bubble, and it's just a couple of you who's there. So that makes it, very, very easy for people to do. The wedding season. So the wedding MICE segment will definitely help, but for that that's why as EEMA we're working on taking 50 to 100, 100 to 200, and frankly we're actually saying that in open air spaces the 4 square meter rule should apply, where 4 square meters is the space by which you should measure the available space for a person. If you did that, you can very easily do this for maybe even 500 odd people, as long as the ground you're in is of that size. But one very important thing was people are asking me, saying, how will it happen? What will happen in terms of safety? We are also building a whole set of trained safety protocol officers. That's what's happening in the West. There are sergeants who are actually going out and doing this, and we will need to self-monitor to make this happen. For international tourism business to come here, my last point before Sanaya comes in is just going to be the fact of saying that we have to build joint IPs. We've got to make our cities more vibrant. When people travel, they travel for multiple things: facilities, entertainment, nightlife, things to go back with. What memorable things do we have apart from monuments? We've got to build IPs together. And I would genuinely say, event, hotels, tourism, if we come together, we can do that. Thank you.
Thank you so much. And thanks for being here with us today.